Hey everyone, this is Kit Cabela of hardlensmedia. We are wrapping up the Facebook live stream event here with the DSA, Democratic Socialists of America, in regards to single-payer health care here in the United States. I'm joined here with one of the speakers that you saw on our Facebook live stream, William Barclay. William, thank you so much for joining hardlensmedia.
Thank you for having me.
So for our viewers and subscribers who are watching this interview right now, essentially what was the main purpose of this event, and really how can single-payer health care be effectively passed here in the United States?
So I think you need to think of this event both in the local context and the larger context. The local context is the Chicago DSA chapter, which has 3 branches, North Side, South Side, and the branch I'm in, Oak Park, is working initially on educating our members so that our members are articulate and able to explain the benefits of single-payer health care, have a critique of our existing healthcare system, and we'll be doing some canvassing door-to-door. We'll be talking to our elected representatives, people like our senators, Durbin and Duckworth, our House members, but it's also part of a larger national thrust on the part of DSA. So at our national convention in August, which was in Chicago, we made healthcare with a focus on single payer one of our 3 national priorities. So this is a chapter level effort to sort of to embody that kind of national priority, and it's something that's going to be happening in DSA chapters all around the country.
Now it's quite clear the 2018 midterm election cycle is going to play a huge role. Essentially, what are your hopes for these candidates who are challenging these elected officials?
So our branch is looking very closely at somebody who's actually challenging a Democrat in the House, because we think he would be more progressive. He's a strong supporter of single-payer health care. I mentor about 12 chapters around the country, and most of them are also starting to talk about who they might want to work for in these upcoming elections, like you said, and how they might make healthcare reform, Medicare for all, single-payer, whatever term you use, to be one of the key axes on the terms of them making an endorsement. So yeah, that's starting to happen. DSA chapters have different experiences in terms of level of electoral understanding and involvement. So for some chapters, it's going to be a brand new learning process. For my particular branch, we have people who've done a lot of electoral work for years and years and years. So we're probably more ready to be geared up and going and really working. But DSA around the country is going to be doing this.
Now it's quite clear single-payer health care is a very important issue. It's affecting a lot of Americans. Should they deal with a horrible tragedy, one bad day, and they become bankrupt. So to the critics who say that single-payer health care is impossible, really, why would they go about saying that single-payer health care is impossible? And essentially,
well, of course, they say it's impossible partly because they don't look around the rest of the world. And when they look around the rest of the world, you see that actually what we have is almost impossible, and single-payer actually works. But I think we do have not just an educational work in our chapters, but as I said, this is the first stage, so our people can then go out and talk to people who are not members of DSA, maybe not members of any political organization, and talk to them about this issue, the question of health care, what it means to their lives, what it means to their children's lives, to their parents' lives, and how we can have a system that is less expensive and delivers better health care and frees them up from the threat of bankruptcy or anything like that. You referenced that, one bad day and you could end up bankrupt. And so we need to start talking to people. It's going to be a cultural change, an ideological change of a lot of Americans. Although, if you look now in national polls, you see the country's pretty much split. About half people say, yes, they would like single payer, the other half saying, no, they don't think so. So we have work to do, but that's a higher proportion supporting single payer than I think we've ever had in terms of these national polls, certainly than any national poll I remember.
Now, of course, there are some Democrats in the United States Senate who are coming on board for Bernie Sanders' health care bill. It looks like a chance for the Democrats starting to openly embrace it. But what are your thoughts on the Democratic Party embracing Bernie Sanders' policy in regards to single-payer health care bill?
Well, there's certainly some Democrats in Congress that are strong supporters, that are signed on as co-sponsors. And by the way, there's John Conyers, a representative in the House, also has a bill for single payer similar to Sanders. They're not identical, but they're close. And he's got, I think, he's got the entire Democratic Party Progressive Caucus in the House signed on. Sanders' bill is much newer. People are starting to sign on. We'll be talking to our senators in Illinois about the desirability of signing on. But obviously, with 48 senators out of 100, we need more than just, even if we got all the Democrats to sign on right now, we couldn't pass it. So either people need to move some of the Republicans, or we need to get rid of some of the Republicans and replace them with the people who will sign on to it. And so we have to have an electoral strategy. It's not just an education strategy, it's an electoral strategy as well. And we're not going we're doing that alone. I mean, obviously, for example, we're standing here in an auditorium that is part of National Nurses United facility, and NNU is a strong supporter, a strong ally in this work, and will be carrying a lot of the load as well.
All right, and real quick, where can our viewers and subscribers learn more about your organization and find you guys on social media?
dsausa.org.
That's a great note to end on. Thank you so much for joining Hard Lens Media. Peace, everyone.
You're watching Hard Lens Media.